Okay, welcome back, third grade. It is time for English. So let's get our English packet. Yesterday, you were to pull out the next chapter in our book, chapter 5, about action verbs. So hopefully you did that. So get your English packet out and be ready to go over with me action verbs on page 77. Now, this chapter, the theme of it is all about baseball. And if we were in class, I would say raise your hand if you've ever been to a baseball game. And I'm sure many of you would. I also would say how many of you play baseball. And I know there's a couple boys in our class that play baseball. But baseball, to some people, is fun. They love it. Let me give you some background history on baseball. Baseball started to become popular during the Civil War. Both Northern and Southern soldiers enjoyed playing baseball when they were not on duty. If you could watch them, you might be surprised at how they played. You would see fielders catching fly balls with their bare hands. They hit the ball with wooden sticks with no knob on the handle. No one wore cleats. A batter was allowed 4 strikes before he was out, and there were no such things as balls or bad pitches. Because Americans liked baseball so much, it became known as America's national pastime. Today, baseball rules make the game safer and more exciting. Fielders wear gloves to protect their hands. Equipment is used to help players be more effective. If you are a baseball fan, you know that the rules punish 4 bad pitches by allowing the batter to walk to first base. To throw a good pitch, the pitcher must throw the ball into the strike zone. Baseball has come a long way since the Civil War days. In the early 1900s, when baseball was becoming popular, boys began trading and collecting baseball cards. You have probably heard of Babe Ruth, one of the first 5 people to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. If your grandfather collected baseball cards when he was a boy and had one of Babe Ruth, it would be worth a lot of money today. If you join a little league team, you will discover that baseball takes a lot of practice and skill. You will also discover that though baseball has changed through the years, one thing is still the same. America's national pastime is still a whole lot of fun. And my father enjoyed baseball. He played for the number 5 Fire Hall baseball team. He played for a team in New York. He did some semi-pro ball, but never went pro, but he was close to it. So we like baseball. I'm not a follower of it or on teams, but if I had to choose a team, of course, I would choose the Orioles because they are the closest team to where I'm living right now. So you're going to see as we go through this chapter, there's a lot of verbiage about baseball. There's sentences about baseball. So that's kind of our theme through this chapter. So let's talk about action verbs. What are action verbs? So in this discussion today, we're going to define what an action verb is. An action verb tells what someone or something does. Every sentence must have an action verb or some type of verb. Otherwise, how are we going to know what the subject is doing, right? So, a verb is a word that shows the action in a sentence. Now, we don't have a partner nearby, but I want you just to shout out in the room where you're at what a verb is. Say it with me. A verb is a word that shows the action in a sentence. So these words are verbs because they show action. Jump, drink, called, ate, cook, wrote. Can you name at least 5 other action verbs? Sleep is an action word. Running or run is an action verb. Eat. You think of 2 others? How about talking? That's an action word. How about walking or walk, talk? All of those are words that show what someone is doing. So we know them as action words. So let's see if you can answer this. A verb shows what someone or something is doing. The cat, fill in the blank with a verb. If you have a cat, you could say the cat meows, the cat drinks, the cat sleeps, the cat purrs, the cat licks. Okay, so again, there's a partner, but we're going to skip that one. Here's another one. The truck. Tell me some things a truck can do. The truck roars. The truck moves. The truck dumps. The truck, how many have we done so far? 3. The truck drives. So a verb shows what someone or something is doing. So if you've ever been to a baseball game, think about it for a moment. You have a batter, you have a pitcher, you have an umpire, you have a coach, and you have fans. Well, with COVID, you probably don't have fans, but most of the time there are fans in the stands, and they're there yelling for their team. So think about a baseball team. Now complete these sentences describing what that person does in a baseball game. So the batter, what does the batter do? The batter hits, the batter runs, the batter slides. Okay, think about a pitcher. He's on his mound, and what is he doing? The pitcher throws, the pitcher catches, the pitcher dives. There's oftentimes when the ball is hit right to the pitcher, and he has to dive after the ball. Okay, think about the umpire. He's behind the batter and the catcher. What is he doing? The umpire yells, "You're out!" Or he yells, "Ball 1, ball 2, strike 1, strike 2." What else does the umpire do? He yells, he watches. He has to keep a close eye on that strike zone there. The umpire yells, he watches, and he guides. Guess we could say he guides the game. He keeps the game going. Now, think about a coach. You people who play baseball, think about what does your coach do? The coach coaches. The coach sometimes yells. The coach talks. The coacher speaks. The coach helps. And then think about the fans. The fans do a lot of yelling. The fans cheer, they yell, they encourage. So all of these words describe what a batter, a pitcher, an umpire, a coach, and fans do. So that's basically what a verb is. It tells what what the person or the thing is doing in a sentence. Let's look at these sentences. So we know that every sentence has a subject part and a predicate part, right? The subject part is in yellow here. It tells the who or what. The who or what, the rain. And then the predicate part or the verb part tells the action. What did the rain do? It falls softly. Okay, look at sentence 2, the sun. The sun is the subject part, the who or what. What does the sun do? Shines on the ground. Number 3, the grass. The grass is the subject part. What does it do? It grows tall in the field. So every sentence has a subject part and it has a predicate part. Most time we will take a line and we will put it between the subject part and the predicate or the verb part. Now remember, I've told you before, the subject and the verb are usually neighbors. So think about that. In a sentence, the subject part and the verb part are usually neighbors. They're right next to each other. So we could say that rain falls, sun shines, grass grows. So think about that, because as we build on verbs, you're going to need to find the subject of the sentence and the verb in the sentence. So we want to pay attention to that and be ready to find that in our paper. So let's go ahead and look at page 77. On page 77, you have the box there. It gives you the definition and it goes over everything that we just went over. So look at number 1. Look at number 1 on page 77. We're going to draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part of each sentence. Underline the verb twice. So let's look at this sentence. The baseball team plays on a large field. So where is our line going to go? Think about who or what is the sentence about. And then what is the action? So the line's going to go between the words team and play. Okay, so let's go back to page 77, number 1. The baseball team play on a large field. So, who or what is the sentence about? Teams. And what are the teams doing? They are playing or play. So, play would be underlined twice, and then a line would go here between the words team and play. Number 2, the players wear their uniforms. Who or what is the sentence about? Players. And what do the players do? They wear. So wear is going to be underlined twice. And then the line would go right here in between the word players and wear. Sentence number 3, the pitcher stands on the pitcher's mound. So who or what is the sentence about? Pitcher. And what is he doing? He stands. So stands would be underlined twice. And then you would draw a line between the word pitcher and stands. Number 4, the batter swings the bat. So who or what is the sentence about? Batter. And what does the batter do? He swings. So swings would be underlined 2 times. And then your line would go between batter and swings. And then the last one, number 5, the ball flies high to the left. The ball flies high to left field. So, who or what is the sentence about? Ball. What does the ball do? Flies. So, flies would be underlined twice, and you would draw a line between the words ball and flies. So when you're looking at a sentence, the who or what is always the subject. The verb is always going to be right after the subject, and it's always going to tell you what the subject is doing. All right, so the inaction verb shows action. Now, what I want you to do is turn over to page 78. Oops, let me see here. Got the wrong page. All right, turn over to page 78 and go ahead and do numbers 1 through 13. It says draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part of each sentence. Underline the verb twice. So there's two things you're going to do here. Number one, you're going to draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. You may want to put a number 1 there. And then the second part, put a number 2. You're going to underline the verb twice. And then I will post the answers so you can score this page yourself once you have completed this. All right, thank you. We will see you later. Have a great day.